button. Lots of people coming in, I see that. You guys can see that I am not Regan. I am her husband. And I am getting on here in response to Eric B.rant's petty drama. You know, I am pretty fed up with Eric B.rant altogether. Eric B.rant has forgotten that I have some of his bonds as well. And with that being said, I do not give you permission to go to Beaver, Oklahoma. The bottom line is I just don't trust you, Eric. Sound familiar? So a little bit about my family. You know, Regan's been an activist, not an auditor, for a very long time. She's been doing it without Eric's help. Eric has taught her nothing about it. She's went out and done things on her own for a long time. She reached out to Eric at one point and wanted to get to know him just a little bit. And she found a connection there for some reason. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. But I support my wife in whatever she does and whatever she wants to do. We talk about the pros and the cons, and if she wants to go forward with it, I support her 100%. With that being said, we have done a lot of things for a lot of different people. We've taken people in. We have worked with people to get back on their feet. And we do this as a family. It's not just something that Regan does on her own. The only kink in all of that is when somebody doesn't want the help anymore, we're not going to help. If somebody wants to walk away from what we're trying to do, they can do it. We don't put any pressure on them to stick around and do what we need them to do or what we want them to do. It's up to them. Petty drama. Petty drama. So this all stems from the night when Joey Henley went live for the first time. Later that night, Regan started getting text messages from the Henley family letting her know that Eric B.rant had just loaded crime scene footage of their son and their brother's dead body on YouTube. This is a family that we have been trying to support, that we have been doing everything that we can to help out. And in one fell swoop, Eric B.rant tried to destroy that. Eric got a hold of the disc and copied it, and he put it on YouTube without anybody's permission. This is the first that any of this family has seen of any of this stuff. And it basically reopened every wound from the beginning of when Timmy was killed. It started over again. where's the trust supposed to be after that? You know, in that one moment, in that selfish decision that Eric B.rant decided to make, he alienated one of his biggest supporters, somebody who has supported him through thick and thin. I would have kicked his ass to the curb a long time ago, some of the shit that he's pulled. But not my wife. She stuck with it. She did everything she could to try to help. And this is the thanks that he gives her. And this is the thanks that he gives the Henley family. The petty drama. The petty drama. Timmy Henley's death is petty drama. Putting his dead body on YouTube is petty drama. You know, I hear a lot of you people in this community bitch and complain about government. You do everything you can to be against every agency that there is. And believe me, I don't like them either. You've got the sheeple that follow the government around, you know, with their nose up their asses. That's what every one of you are doing with Eric B.rant. You're frickin' following around just like sheeple. At what point is his antics enough? The shit that he does in front of kids. It's ridiculous. But yet, you guys still follow him around. Keep following. Keep following. You know, I know my wife wants to say a few words on here about some things. But I'm going to talk about a couple more things. All you keyboard warriors out there, the ones that can type out cunt and bitch, my wife needs to get laid. If any of you were in front of her, she'd kick your fucking ass in a heartbeat. But you're sitting behind the keyboard. Yeah, it's easy to say that stuff when you're not face to face, isn't it? I'm here. Anytime. So, any of you that want to look me up, I'm here. But know this, the Benson family is here to help anybody who needs help, who wants help. If you don't want help, if you don't need us, fine. But let me finish by saying this. You know, Eric B.rant is an attention whore. He's got to have the limelight on himself. And if he doesn't like it. He wants to be famous on YouTube. He just has to have that. That's why he put this stuff on there. He wants to have as many hits as possible on his page. Eric B.rant, you keep talking about my wife and I will make you famous. You can put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it.
everybody. Yeah, so that was said quite well. That's going to be a hard act to follow. I'm watching your comments. I'm watching your bullshit. So let's have a little truth test right about now, why don't we? So, my husband, he just got done working 14 hours. He's fucking tired. He has to work for a living, so he can help support me to help support fucking assholes like Eric B.rant. So let me be the first to step up and let you know that I assume full responsibility for ever allowing Eric B.rant to become involved in my activism. So let's make that very clear. The responsibility does lie on me. But I don't think, I'm not sure Bo really hit it home enough to what led up to Eric B.rant deciding that what he was going to do on YouTube was an appropriate thing to do. Now, make no mistake, people, I've been paying very close attention. And I am a bitch, and you're about to see it, because I'm not a stupid person. And when your bullshit trails over into my family, yeah, I'm going to wear the fucking pants. Yeah, I am. And you can call me every name in the book you want, and I will be unmoved. And this is going to be the only single live stream that we do in response to Eric B.rant. Eric, I gave you a hug Friday after court in Denver because I was there to support you and what free speech is supposed to mean to a jury of stupid people. And I gave you a hug when I left. And I told you to be safe, and you know why? Because I knew you were going to go on a fucking bender. And that's exactly what you did. And you've done it before. And it's all there, Eric. It's all there. And for those of you that want to chastise me for going live and talking in response to what Eric is doing, you are the same ones on his thread, chastising me and believing every word out of Eric B.rant's mouth. And now you think you're going to come over here and chastise me. Well, for those of you that were led blindly by Eric B.rant, you can kiss my ass. Because those of you that are going to continue to be sheepled by Eric and his tactics, that's your choice. That is not our choice. I accept full responsibility for not making any progress in my activism, for involving Eric B.rant. I thought I was very clear to you, Eric B.rant, when I sent you a text Saturday night after you pulled this bullshit with posting those photos on YouTube, and the first people to see them were the Henley family. That's right, Eric B.rant copied a disk, a flash drive, when I was over at Janet's making buttons for Timmy Henley, because Janet was so generous in allowing me to come over into her home and make these buttons, the home that Eric B.rant is currently surf couching in. I thought we had a good time. I brought them dinner, we ate, but we had a little conversation that pissed Eric off, and it has to do with my court case in Morgan County. You see, Eric is, how do I say it? Eric is in charge of people. You want to talk about me having a control problem, Eric? Let's talk about you having a control problem. Unfortunately for Eric, he doesn't get to control my attorney costs in Fort Morgan because Eric B.rant and those like him get to seek out public defenders because they're fucking lowlifes and they don't work. Me, on the other hand, me and my husband and the rest of my family, we work and we have to pay for our shit. We have to pay to support people that we want to try to help and get out of the system. We have to pay to try to support fucking drug addicts. Yeah, sure, we've made some mistakes, and we understand that these are some of the trials and tribulations that come with helping people. And we will gladly let you go when you give us the sign to let you go. We will have nothing else to do with you. We've helped you as much as we can. We wish you best. We are not vengeful or spiteful people. We will set you free, if that's what you so desire. You come back, and you attack me, and you attack my family, It's fucking on. You got it? You got it, Eric B.rant? And when you decided to make that YouTube the other night, you decided to continue to harass me after you had been on strict written warning to not communicate with me ever again. You are a piece of shit. You are an indecent human being. And I won't stand for it in my life, and I will set you free. That's really awesome that you all raised $1,100 in 38 minutes. Because let me tell you something else. Eric is lying to you. That is not how the bond transfer process works here in the state of Colorado with any bondsmen that are actually going to take on Eric and Abedi's bonds. Because they presented themselves as a flight risk now. And that's how they are going to be treated, as a flight risk. Trust me, word is out around the state, and there are very few credible bondsmen left in this state. So maybe Eric needs to be honest with all of you now that you've donated, and let you know that he needs more than $15,000 in cash to secure those bonds. And Eric knows damn good and well what the approval process is for a travel permit. He decided to continue to poke me when he'd been told repeatedly by the bondsman that he must seek court approval first. He fucking knew it. He knows that the courts must allow him that travel permit, and then the bondholder is secondary to that approval. Except he duped you all tonight. So I'd really encourage you guys to keep on giving. Keep on giving where it counts, right? Team Benson will be over here. Those of you with ill intent, go on over and support Eric B.rant. Because he'll make you a fucking famous entertainer on YouTube. He'll make you feel real good about yourself. He'll tell you that he's going to help you. He's going to make you have notoriety. Eric hasn't taught me a fucking thing. What he's taught me is that he set me back in my advocacy because I involved him. This last week wasn't the first red flag, but I continued to support him, and it was a big mistake. A big mistake. And I should have heeded the warning a long time ago when the red flags were there. I gave you the opportunity, Eric, to walk away when I put you on warning after your threatening, nasty, horrible texts telling me that I better decide whether we're going to stick together or part ways. And I told you we'd part ways in no uncertain terms and never to fucking contact me again. And what did you do? You kept fucking harassing me, sending me texts, leaving voicemails when I told you not to contact me again. That wasn't enough. Then you got other people to do it. Send me texts and call me. Eric, I think you are really under a false guidance that you think you're smarter than me, because you're not. And there's a lot of people right now, and lucky for you, I'm not a cop caller, because they want your ass for harassment. You got to be honest with people. Tell people why you're living at Janet's. Tell people why you don't have living arrangements in your former home where there's a restraining order against you. Why don't you talk to people about how you got your launch into the criminal justice system by way of domestic violence charges? Why don't you talk to the people about being on felony diversion for threatening the life of a judge? Right, people? This is how this works. How many of you are going to do your homework to prove me wrong? I dare you. And I dare you to make a mockery out of Timmy Henley's life and the work that needs to be done to bring them fucking cops to justice. I dare you. Make a mockery out of the Henleys. Is that what you're about? Is that your intent? Because that was Eric's. I was made aware that those videos, that those pictures you posted to YouTube, Eric, as a video, I was made aware by the family. By the family. At 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. What were you doing, Eric? Where's your $25,000 settlement that you just got from Brush, where you cashed the check right before you went to jail, Eric? Where is it? What'd you do with $25,000 that you got for walking to the podium and saying fuck in Brush? And then you got arrested. Why were you in Brush, Eric? That was because of me. Because you told me you were going to come help. You were going to come help two people that needed help. You lied to me. And I still supported you. Yeah, shame on me. You were exactly right, Eric B.rant. Shame on Regan Benson. You better believe it. I don't ever want to fucking hear from you or see you again. And I'm going to make it very clear right here for the whole world to see. And now that you've put yourself on notice as a flight risk, you and Abadi, everyone's been made aware. So you better get back to work, because that $1,100 isn't going to get you very far, Eric. You're going to need about 15 more hours of that kind of fundraising. So I'm not fucking around. And you better understand it now, because I tried to keep it out of the view of the auditing community. And for those of you that want to chastise me for being an auditor, I'm not an auditor. Maybe you need to pay attention and listen and comprehend. I am an advocate for the individual, and I will never stop what I'm doing. Understand it very clear. I don't need fucking YouTube. What I need are good people to back me up, and they're out there. And because I made the decision to go more public on YouTube, I've met some fabulous people. The majority of you are shit. You're trolls. You don't care. You're here for the entertainment. But there are a handful of very good people out there. And they're far and few. And those are the punches you're going to take when you put yourself public. I've been doing individual advocacy long before Eric B.rant made his launch into the public. Do you remember going to jail just this past April, Eric? In Denver on a lost appeal? Who was there for you? That was me. Then you became this YouTube star over the summer, right? After I was the one that contacted you and picked you up from your face being flat in the fucking mud, and you know it. You want to treat me like this? Go ahead. Have at it. This will be the one time that I make this public. You are not a good person. And the people you associate yourself with to support you are in even less fortunate situations. Because Eric B.rant likes to be in charge. Eric B.rant likes to be in control of his circle. He likes to be the alpha male. And he's allowed to do that. Not in my fucking world, you're not. So I hope you understand, Eric. In no uncertain terms, do not ever fucking contact me again, or my family, or put my family in a position to have to hear and read that their mom and wife is being called a slut and a bitch. I'm done. I'm done. And I am tough as nails, and I'm probably the toughest one in this family. And if I wear the pants at times, then so be it. Because it's a good fucking thing in this family, because it works for our family. Bo and I have been married for 27 years. You don't think we have this shit figured out, people? We're not stupid. And we're very good-intentioned people. And we will continue to do good by the people that deserve it. Sure, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to help people we shouldn't. But never have we been treated with such disrespect for our efforts and all that I have done for you, Eric. And I could go on for hours, and you know it. But let's save the petty drama, shall we? And let's support the Henley family. As you decided to plaster pictures that they said they never wanted to see, that I worked to help get them the support they needed so they could start their grieving process for their murdered son and brother. And you took advantage of my willingness to want to once again involve you in something I had no business involving you in. And I accept full responsibility for it. And I apologize profusely to the Henley family. And I asked them to continue to trust me, and they said they would. So I'm going to continue to do what I need to do for them without you. What did Eric B.rant do when one of the members of the Henley family reached out to him and told them that they didn't approve of what he did? He didn't apologize. He said, good luck, because I'm not talking to you or Regan Benson again. And it's in writing, people. Eric, the truth will set you free. You better find your fucking way as far away from me as you possibly can. You too, Abadi, and the rest of you that Eric, you claimed I wouldn't talk to. You're fucking lying to people. You're lying. You're a bald-faced fucking liar. I've never even met Angela. And if you'll recall, that day you swindled me to go over to Inglewood to pick up more of your fucking petty drama, Angela was there. And I introduced myself to her because I'd never met her. I'd never seen her. I didn't even know who she was. I'd heard her name. So I introduced myself, and it's on video. And as far as not talking to Brian, I can't recall any reason to need to talk to Brian Loma. Can you? I haven't been contacted by Brian Loma. Oh, and as far as not talking to Jonna, do I need to go into any details about the petty drama when Abadi and Jonna decided to steal shit out of Sarah's car after my generosity of allowing you, Eric, and Abadi to drive Sarah's car back to Denver so I could continue to try to help Sarah? And then you, Abadi and Jonna, driving that car back to Fort Morgan and getting $50 cash from the dealership so I could turn it in as a repo because Sarah had lost everything she had while she was in jail. And what did you say to me? You continued to tell me how disgusting Sarah was to you. Somebody's got an insecurity complex, don't they? You continued to badmouth Sarah as I was crying, putting everything she owned into fucking black trash bags. Everything she owned in her car because she was living in her fucking car. And you sat there and made fun of her. What the fuck is wrong with you? You think I want to talk to you? Fuck no, I don't. You and Abadi are dishonest people. Let the rest of the world figure that one out. And for those of you that think it's okay that Eric and Abadi and people like him go out and decide to utilize public defender resources because they don't want to fucking work, make it harder on the people that actually need those public defender services, the actual vulnerable, the unable to speak for or help themselves. Those are the people that need public defenders because those are the people government preys on. And if it wouldn't have been for you, Eric and Abadi, I wouldn't be in the fucking situation I'm in Fort Morgan. And dare you, Eric, dare you, put in text that you're retaliating against me for what I need to do in Morgan County, calling my attorney a shitbag, my attorney that I had to pay for. My attorney came by way of your attorney that you're getting for fucking free. You tell anybody about that? No. My attorney's not a shitbag, and neither is the one you're getting for free. Why don't you talk to people, Eric? Why don't you talk to them about the truth? Why don't you talk to them about where your $25,000 settlement from Brush went? Because all you fucking people tonight that just gave to Eric B.rant, you got duped hard. You got duped hard. And every bit of that money that was raised while Eric was in jail went on his books. $1,000, people. I had no business trying to help you, Eric. None whatsoever. You've blown through $25,000. In how much time, buddy? And it was because of me that you were finally able to cash that fucking check. As you and Abdi were tootling around town in Sarah's car. I'm the one that got you to the point where you could get a fucking picture ID so you could conduct some kind of business. Because it was agreed that you were going to work on living arrangements for yourself. $25,000 goes a long way for band living. $25,000 goes a long way when you had a one Mr. Benson ready to help you convert a school bus or a van or all these things that you and Abdi dream about. Where'd that $25,000 go, Eric? And where are you living? And what are your housing arrangements? Why don't you talk to people about the truth, Eric? Because the truth is going to set you free, buddy. And the rest of you? I guess you're going to decide where you want to put yourself and test your moral code and compass. Because every one of you that just gave to Eric B.rant, you just got fucking duped.
Where's the camera?